a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Well, welcome everyone and good evening. You're watching the Newcastle Racers Coaches Show here on the Oklahoma Sports Network and at Luigi's in Newcastle. Welcome everybody. We're glad you're here. We're here on Tuesday night, right on time, almost right on time, 6:30. We don't start at 6. We don't start at 7. You know when we start? Kind of a 6-7 time at 6:30.
6:30.
6:30. 6:30.
Whatever the technical difficulty is.
Hey, we just welcome you here. And, guys, we are loaded with guests tonight. Guess who's in the house? First of all, the top racer is in the house. Dr. Kathy Walker is just about 20 steps away from us. So Dr. Walker is good. We're glad to have Dr. Walker. Yeah, you can applaud Dr. Walker for being here. Thank you. We also have the top coach with us tonight. The top coach, athletic director and head coach Jeff Brickman. Going to bring him in just a few seconds. And also, we've got the president of the quarterback club going to join us here in this first segment as well. So we've got a great lineup for you tonight. My name is Gene Reed, and this is my friend, my partner. He's now famous, Keith Cleghorn.
Oh, he's big time.
Good to have Keith here with us. And our producer, Newcastle Junior, Uriah Martinez is our producer. He's just off camera there, does a great job for us. This is the Coaches Show number 12. Getting ready for round 2 of Class 5A playoff, playing the Pryor Tigers. Getting ready to travel up Interstate 44, going to Pryor. And before I get any further, I just want to take a moment. We've asked Coach Brickman to join us at the very beginning. Tell us a little bit, first of all, who all's here with you? You brought a few guests with you tonight, Coach, and we always like that. Welcome, Coach, and glad to have you here on the Coaches Show.
Yeah, we brought the whole team. The whole team's here. Coaching staff, players, families, got all the racers out here tonight.
I've met grandparents and parents and brothers and sisters, and I don't know how many, I haven't counted noses, but there are about 80 on the team, plus a good number of coaches. So I bet there's 90 people here, or 100. Our best crowd ever.
It's exciting.
Tell us about the season so far and how you're feeling this week and what's on your mind.
You know, pretty typical season as far as ups and downs and just dealing with every day, kind of call them putting out fires, every day. We've got a lot of different personalities on the team. Some of the players behave well in class. Some of them, sometimes we can get emails on them about, not being on time and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's typical everywhere you're at in any season you're in. But that part's pretty normal. But then, being able to have our seniors to have gone to the quarterfinals the last 3 seasons is pretty remarkable for our football program. Obviously, our big goal is to win a state championship game.
Right.
But just kind of looking at it, going to the quarterfinals the last 3 years is a testament to the staff and our seniors and the other players in the program.
So quarterfinals means getting past that first play-in game or that first game, and then quarterfinals. And so 3 years in a row, we've done that. Maybe 4 or 3 years in a row.
Now, sometimes in the past though, you would have more people. So quarterfinals are 2 games away from the state championship game.
Right.
Sometimes you could go to the second round and not be in the quarterfinals.
That's right. We made the second round a time or two.
Yeah, so I think this is the first time that we've had a group of seniors that has been to the quarterfinals all 3 years that they've been in school.
And, Coach, we've noted that with some of the players we've had on as guests. We'll be looking at that young man and say, we just realized, it occurs to us now, you've been in a second and third level playoff game now for 2 or 3 years of your career here at Newcastle.
Yes, sir.
Great experience. And then the younger ones, the scout members, they've also been to those games, and what great experience for them.
Yeah, it's similar to college when you go to bowl games.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize why kind of the rich get richer is because whenever you go in the postseason, it's not only the starters that are getting the extra practice time, but it's the younger players. And when you add all those times up, you will literally play an extra season by the time those players get to become a senior if they go freshman all the way through.
That's a good point.
A lot of practice, a lot of value time when you're building a program.
That's right.
So today's Tuesday, Tackle Tuesday probably, if I know of the routine. And they got some rains coming in. Are you looking ahead? You think you'll get 2 more good practices in before travel day?
Yeah, the interesting thing is you get a full moon. Sometimes that affects different personalities. And then when the barometric pressure changes, that also affects certain personalities, players and coaches alike. So today was an interesting day of practice. I actually had to bring the whole team in the middle part of practice and told them that we needed to do better. And they responded and had some more enthusiasm in practice today.
Okay. Well, sometimes it takes that, and you're the person who can do it. Coach, we just love hearing you and hearing you talk about the team. And what a good-looking group of guys this is anyway. And we enjoy seeing them here, and it's fun. And they know exactly where the buffet line is set up, and they're moving. And what else? Any other question for Coach before we let him break?
Coach, let me ask you a question. Tell me about the unity of this football team, because they're just a good group of young men. Tell me about that.
Yeah, really strong. It's no matter what organization you're in, you'll never get to 100%, but there's a big difference between 95% unity and 55% unity, and we're up, to where you'd want to be. And then the other thing, I was actually talking to one of our assistant coaches. He was asking me today, we had a bit of time before we came over here. He said, what's the hardest part about being a head coach? And I said, there's lots of things, but one of the things can make it really difficult is if you have a coaching staff that has bad chemistry, and we don't. So it makes it a lot more enjoyable when you have unity within not only the players but the coaching staff. You add those two things together, it just makes it way more enjoyable.
And Coach, we're looking for unity of this community coming together and following the teams and following the games and everything like that. So give us one more message about the importance of traveling up that interstate and being part of the prior game.
Well, it's a huge advantage whenever you can pack the away stadium like you're the home team.
Right.
And a lot of people are excited about our last game we had against Altus, but I credit the game to a lot of variables. One of them would be the electricity we have with our home crowd.
Right.
Very good.
And
that home crowd needs
overlooked.
home crowd needs to become a carry it with them, right?
Yeah, and Pryor's a really neat place to go. Up around the Tulsa area, there's a Google plant there, so they pumped a lot of money into their athletic programs and their schools, and they do a great job there. Their coaching staff does a great job, and it's a brand new stadium. Wow. Brand new turf. They have a really nice video board. It'd be worth the drive to be there and just be a part of the quarterfinal game.
Excellent point. Excellent. Well, listen, make that drive. It's easier than some of the other places we've already been with this team. It's going to be a great drive right up Interstate 44, just a little bit past Tulsa. Pryor is going to be a great place to visit, so plan to go. I think the weather's going to be good up there. We'll have a little bit of weather between now and then, but it'll be good. Hey, let's hear it for Coach Brickman from the team. Let's give him a round of applause, and thank you, Coach, for being part of our program tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. Bless you, sir.
And I'll take that mic, and we're going to just, with your permission, we're going to bring in someone else to join us on the set here. Coming in, Eric. So just let me bring back together our show tonight. We have a great lineup. You've already heard from Coach Brickman. Like I said, Dr. Walker's here, our superintendent of Newcastle Schools.
Gene, we're going to have a little technical difficulty. We're going to have to go to a commercial.
Okay,
We've
all
got
right.
an issue.
Be right back.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away. Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi?
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
I don't know if you noticed that last week.
Okay.
Yeah, for their team meal. So we're doing that Thursday night. We're chartering buses, and wow, man. I mean, we were going to do it as a booster club, but we had another one of our outstanding community partners, Snow Enterprises, step up and foot the bill for that. So our boys and coaches are going to be riding in style.
Some Newcastle alumni
Newcastle alum,
Mr.
yeah.
Jay Snow, I still remember, wore number 40, came in as a fullback, played for the Racers, and he and Olivia, what a great contribution that was. So you're saying they're sponsoring the two over-the-road buses to get the team and everyone up there?
Yeah, they made a donation to the Booster Club to pay for that. Yeah.
Wow, very good. We're proud of that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about. You'll head out, so you'll leave out Friday. What time of day? Have y'all decided on what time you're going to?
Yeah, we're going to leave at 2, and we just put out today a schedule for. We'd love for the community to show up, line the streets, line Main Street.
Oh, okay, we talked about that. Good.
Yeah. So we're going to have the fire department giving us an escort out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the buses will leave at 2 on Friday. We'll have a team meal at noon. They'll go through walkthroughs. Then we'll get on the buses, make one stop halfway up there, and then we'll have because we're really feeding them lunch. We'll have like a brown bag for them to give them at that stop so they can eat again before the game.
So something to eat until they can eat before the game.
You know, the playoffs are awesome, but they're expensive.
A little fuel for the road.
Yeah. Well, speaking of eating, I saw one of our coaches, and he somehow got behind about 5 of the big players, and I don't know if he's made it up to the food line yet. So, but anyway, let's talk a little bit about that Altus game then.
Yeah.
You know, Eric, by some publications, we weren't picked to win. We were, Altus was picked to prevail over us, but the Racers jumped out, got a big lead, and never looked back.
Absolutely. Our offense is really high-powered. We average 43 points throughout the season.
43 points a game,
43 points
average.
a game. But I'll tell you what, I really think that our defense set the tone in that game. You know, the first possession, Thomas Barbie with the strip sack. And we get the ball right back and go score again on them.
It was so much fun seeing the ability, and they came in with some high-profile players.
Yeah.
Let me pause just a moment, and because Keith has some stats of that game. So, Keith, I just hate passing the game up without bragging about these stats, and read some of the highlights of the recap of that Altus game.
Yeah, let me read these with a little intensity. We had passing 10 of 16 for 168 yards and 2 TDs. Rushing 38 yards for 259 yards and 4 TDs.
Wow.
With a total of 427 yards.
Two TDs passing, 4 TDs rushing, right?
What a game so far. Right. Interception for 96 yards, which made my heart rate go up to 119.
2 interceptions. One of them went a long time. Yeah. So 96 yards of interception returns.
Yeah, you had a kickoff return, 20 yards, punt return, 20 yards, total all-purpose yards. Listen to this number, Gene. 563 yards. I mean, we got big-time college programs that's looking for that interception return. But here, the interception return for the TD was incredible. Mm-hmm. Listen to this, 7 touchdowns and 7 extra points. Incredible. 32 pancake blocks recorded for that game.
Wow.
Listen to this. The first 7 drives, you got the ball, 6 touchdowns out of 7 drives. You're going to win a ball game every time you do that with a defensive pick 6. I'm going to tell you, it was rocking on the field, and I heard it. It was wonderful.
And I just saw something posted on Facebook. I remember it, but I didn't catch it. But we had actually 3 interceptions in that game. Yep. And so it was just a dynamite performance.
Absolutely.
What other takeaways do you bring from that?
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, defensively they have their defensive front's really weird in certain downs and distances. They don't get in a stance, and they kind of move around, and then some of their defensive linemen actually act like blockers. Their job is just to
pile
take
things
up.
up.
A guy,
Okay.
So, and I felt like our line, we hadn't seen anything like that. They did a really good job.
They responded well.
Yeah, and I'm actually friends with their offensive coordinator, and I saw him post today that, Altus is a storied program, and they set 13 offensive records this year.
Yeah.
Really?
13
wow.
offensive school records,
and
we held them to 14 points.
And they had a D1 caliber quarterback, and take another away from him, but the Racers really responded well to him.
Absolutely.
And, the Racers were ready for them, had a game plan both for offense and defense, and they really never let the Bulldogs get an opportunity to get an upper hand, right?
Yeah. Gene, I can tell you, I was over there on the sidelines, and they were scratching their heads early on in the ball game.
Yeah.
When it was 14-0, the panic hadn't set in, but the concern was already there. And but I'll tell you, for our guys, they played very hard from the very first snap.
Yeah. I agree.
Well,
hope for a repeat of that this week.
Yeah, we do. And like I said, we always want to look forward to that next program. Our coaches are, our players are, but man, it's hard not to look back and brag on these kids for a great game. Any last words for the fans before we break for our next segment?
I know it's a bit of a drive to Pryor, but it's important. I think Coach said it. If the Racer faithful will show up, I think our boys will show up for them as well. I do have one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're working with Mr. Hull, the Booster Club is, and the Booster Club's going to pay for tickets for any student that signs up to ride the Spirit Bus to the game.
Oh, okay.
So if we've got to take 3 buses, we will. We'll buy their ticket, and then I believe the school is going to pay for their meal. So
those kids need to
they'll
get
have
on
a
those
way.
buses.
So if you want to go, you can ride the Spirit Bus.
Yep.
Your ticket to the game will be paid for.
Paid for by the Booster Club.
And they'll get a ride up there and feed them.
Feed them
oh
on
my
the way,
goodness!
And then a safe travel home. Because that's a long way.
I know.
We're riding the bus.
I know.
Give me Gene ride the bus.
I'm gonna be
we
a
need
student.
a huge student section.
You know what?
We need them to show up.
It is kind of a trip, but it's not much of a trip. We drive everywhere these days, and that long interstate drive up there. The good condition, a little bit of construction part way up there. Be real careful. We want to keep everybody safe, but get in your cars, get in your vans, get in your pickups.
Please
drive up to that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eric, so glad to have you. Congratulations, and thank you for all you do for. You and your business do for the community, and you and your staff does for the quarterback club for the players. Thank you.
I'm all in.
Let me add, every year we have great presidents, okay? But this one's going to be hard to fill.
So we're going to take a break now. We're going to wrap up this segment. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll have the O-line coach, Coach Cameron Pound. You're watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone. We're here at Luigi's. You're watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Had a little bit of technical difficulty before. We're back in shape right now. We have about 90 kids out there just listening to every word the coaches are about to say, and we are glad you're here. We got a lot of the players, a lot of their families are here. We're joined now by offensive line coach, Coach Cameron Pound. Welcome, Coach, first of all.
Thanks for having
me. Glad
to
have you here. Man, we had Coach Heskew on a week or two ago, and he just couldn't say enough about you. He kept bragging about you, telling us how smart you are, very complimentary. So any chance you put him up to that, or was that all spontaneous?
Oh, it must have been spontaneous.
Yeah, a little bit closer there, Coach.
I said it must have been all on him because I didn't say anything to him.
Okay, well, I know we know that
we work well together. I enjoy coaching.
We know that's true, but he was, and we're going to speak about that throughout the rest of the night. But the unity of this coaching staff, and that was really so good to hear the coaches working with and complimenting one another.
Yeah, and you know, Gene, I wanted to ask you this, Coach. What's the unity? You heard Brickman talk about the unity of the team. What about the coaching staff?
Coaching staff unity is awesome. I mean, it's one of the, I would say, the most unified staff I've been on. I mean, it's pretty similar to what it was last year. A few additions, a couple subtractions, but I mean, it makes it easy to work with one another when we get along as well as we do. It's not always just about football; it's about life. I mean, we talk about everything from football to families to whatever's going on.
And we often hear, Coach, iron sharpens iron. That phrase, biblical actually. Yeah. I'm guessing with all the talent on this coaching staff, you'll have to help one another and work together and probably help each other to become better, right?
No doubt. Yeah, there's a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge on both sides of the ball. It definitely helps us out as a whole group, having, and a lot of coaches to have experience coaching other positions or other sides of the ball as well. So, no, it's worked out well.
Well, and I can attest to that. I've seen them actually all gather before the games and have breakfast together, and it just shows the unity. And so I witnessed that last week. Coach, question for you. What's your takeaways from the Altus game?
It was a fun one, that's for sure. It was the preparation for it was a little bit different because Altus does a lot of different things defensively. And a lot of them it's hard to simulate, from a scout team perspective. So going into it, you feel confident, but you're also a little bit unsure because you haven't had the exact look. You know what I mean? The scout team did a great job doing what we asked of them, but it never looks the same as what it looks like in live action. So
and the coach talked about, Coach Brickman said they just line up differently.
Yeah, they had like 3 or 4 different alignments that they did. One of them is where they're like all at 4 or 5 yards just walking around. So, that was the challenge going into it, offensive line-wise, is picking those guys up in the run game. But, we found out pretty quick that they had no problem doing it. They all worked together really well.
Good.
Coach, speak about the O-line and just the offense of how well it was last week.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, whenever we run for, however many rushes it was for 260 yards, it's definitely something that I love to see.
Yeah.
I'd love to run the football. I'd run every play if we could, so it was a lot of fun.
We have running backs who can make a hole themselves, but they didn't have to a lot because the offensive line opened things up for them as you would expect. Right?
Hey, Coach, I think Altus, they're about the middle of the second quarter. They thought they were at home because they heard those running backs coming, and they just kept hearing. They thought that Altus was landing those planes down there because it just kept coming, hitting over and over and over. And they just kept the running backs just kept coming pounding.
Oh yeah, those two running backs are like the ultimate 1-2 combo. I mean, they even whenever our offensive line isn't playing very good, they make us seem like they're doing a lot better.
Bradford and Rogers just had a wonderful night.
Yeah.
Another thing, Coach, tell us about the prior defense and what the issues they present for the offensive line.
Yeah, they're a little bit different, obviously. Well, a lot different from Altus. Altus is different from pretty much everybody. But, really they've got a big, strong nose guard. They put a lot of guys in the box. That'll be the challenge for us is making sure we're getting guys covered up because they'll have 7, sometimes 8 guys in the box whenever we get in our tight end or 2 tight end set or whatever it may be. So.
And our mic's not picking up real good, so we will ask you to hold that a little bit closer to us. It's the microphone. So, well, for one thing, I saw on playback they've got a big old nose guard, 6'5", 300+ pounds, and everything like that. So you'll deal with that, right?
Oh yeah.
Nothing, no fear.
No, of course not. We recognize from film that he's a good player and obviously great size.
Yeah, good.
You know what I mean? But we saw him last year, got a little bit of experience, but obviously he's a year older, a year more experienced, so another challenge for us.
Coach, I always say this. What about the depth of the offensive linemen and just kind of speak of those guys that are up front just making those holes?
Yeah, luckily for the most part, we've stayed healthy other than a couple guys, but just we've got a few that we've rotated throughout the year. Even got our freshman here, Stockton, who's got some playing time with the varsity as well. So, yeah, we feel confident and comfortable with it.
That's so good seeing these guys come in, sometimes because they really need to, and other times just because it's the right thing to do to get that rotation. So I'm proud of the fact that means you all are working with those young men throughout the season, practicing, everything like that, to have them ready, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely have to rotate them to practice just so they have the experience, know what's going on, keeping them involved and things like that.
Coach, we have 2 guests coming up here in a few moments. Talk about these 2 men. We got T.J. Bradford coming in, and then we have the scout player, Landon Judkins. Tell us a little bit about these 2 guys.
Yeah, well, starting with T.J., obviously he's a great leader for us, has been, his whole career here. But, I've told him personally before, he's one of the few running backs that I've ever coach that doesn't say anything negative to the offensive line ever. So I can definitely appreciate that. But
first of all, he's smart.
Yeah.
First of all, he's smart, and
but from an offensive line perspective,
exactly,
it's easy to want to block for a guy like
exactly.
That. You know what I mean? So he's definitely encouraging, and like I've said before, sometimes he makes us look better than what we are sometimes.
Right.
So, but no, and then. Landon Judkins, LJ, he's a kind of our anchor on our scout team, plays center for us. He's always given his best effort. We ask a lot of those scout team guys, and he's always right in the middle of it. And even outside of scout team, one of the first guys that always jumps up there, volunteered to do stuff for
very
us. So.
good, very good. Well, Coach, I'm glad to have you on. The big guy over here always like to have the line coaches and the big coaches in here too. So I know he's pleased too.
Absolutely.
We're just so glad to have you, and we're just our hearts are with you and the excitement for this game coming up. So thank you for joining us tonight. Any final comments before we break for the next segment?
Oh, we're all fired up for Friday night. That's not the ultimate goal, but it's the next step.
Absolutely.
Right? So all the Newcastle community, as much as you can, try and make it out to Pryor to support us.
So, linemen, let's give this coach a round of applause. We're glad you're here. Coach Pound, thank you very much. We will take a little break now. When we come back, we'll have defensive secondary coach Rick Bradford here. You're watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll be right back.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
We are back. This is the Newcastle Racers Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're here at Luigi's. I haven't fussed over Luigi's just enough yet tonight because they do such a great job hosting our show, supporting the community, feeding the community in so many ways. So if you haven't been to Luigi's, you should plan to come. We're here, and they are here at 117 Northwest 32nd Street, which is not an address you may recognize, but you'll find it really easily. It's on the Service Road, just on the north side of Highway 37, just east of Walgreens and of Walmart. So we're glad you're here. We've had a great lineup already. It's a big night for Newcastle because we are awaiting the feedback result of the bond issue. I'm going to look at my watch. It's about 12 after 7. Any time now, we might start getting some feedback. We may not get results while we're on the show, but if we do, we're prepared to share those results with you. We're joined now by one of our favorites. This is Ricky Bradford, defensive secondary coach. And, Coach, I like it because, like, during games, I like it the number of times you'll come over and ask me my opinion as to what defensive set y'all should get in. And I really appreciate that. It sure makes me feel good.
Oh, it makes you feel good.
But he never does that, by the way.
Okay, I was going to say, I hope you
he
follow
might
that
be.
up.
If he was nice enough to do that, he would then turn around and go do what he knows to do. We enjoy having you, Coach, and welcome to the show.
Well, it's good to be here again. And it's even better that we're in the playoffs, second round. So
it
we're
is
excited.
Yeah. We're going to start with kind of a supplemental question about the scout team again. In the last few weeks, we've really talked up the scout team, and because of the role that they play. So, what are your thoughts on the role of the scout team? And our producer is saying that's still not picking it very good. So there you go.
As far as scout team,
there we go.
As far as the scout team goes, that's the closest thing that we get to a representation of what we'll see on Friday nights. So scout team wise, those guys they're critical to our success. during the week, because especially on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they'll get out there and we'll try to replicate what we're going to see and some of the things that we anticipate. We even specialize specific players during the week, or on Sundays when we have our meetings, we'll say this player is going to represent this player, or we want this player. He's kind of like this player.
It's
so
kind of a challenge.
Yeah, it's a very good challenge. For example, this week we have, they have a really good nose tackle, big guy inside. So we have Braden Cantrell duplicating him because he's the closest thing that we have to that on our team. So things like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Coach, a couple questions for you. How do you assess the secondary play in Altus? Obviously, that was a huge game. Just want to know your opinion on that.
Collectively, I think, if I'm honest, we had some team goals going into it as a secondary, and we were able to achieve those goals. But overall, I think we were able to play our best overall game as a secondary against them. We took the challenge head on, and I feel I like the results of it.
Yeah, we do too, and you can see it. And just remind us for who all's included in that secondary group that you coach. Is that?
Well, primarily I coach the corners and the free safety, but collectively there's 5 people in the secondary. So you have a corner, you have a free safety, 2 corners, a free safety, a weak safety, and a strong safety. So we're a 4-2-5 defense, so we have 5 defensive backs that we feel on the field any given time unless we call something different. But I specifically am responsible for the corners and free safety.
All right, so those 2 or 3 players, really?
Yes, sir.
And we have a coaching staff that really, Coach Brickman says that they're able to cover all the key positions that way, and that's an example of it right there.
Absolutely.
Wow,
absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah, Coach, racers have several players. How do you rotate in the game, and does that include your area of defense, of how you're rotating those areas?
For us, we depend on who we playing, and depending on schemes and things like that. But the way that we decide who we're rotating in and out, really, we're about 10 deep. We trust probably 7 to 8 kids that we feel like if one goes down, the other one can play this position or that position. Several kids can play multiple positions. So just for example, Ashton Schumard, for example, right? He's been the free safety primarily all season. This past game, you've seen Caden Longman go to free safety. Ashton moved down to strong safety, and he was able to switch out. You see a lot of that from the corners. Caden going from corner to free safety.
Yeah.
Santorio, free safety to corner, and Alec also. So if we need somebody to go man someone up, TJ can move from weak safety to corner if we need that.
So you base that on what the other team is presenting to you then,
yes, sir.
obviously.
So we feel like we go off of this. We want to put our best 5 on the field against their best 5, and we feel like our best 5, they put us in good position.
They do.
Coach, what do you compare prior to anybody else that we played this year? Are they totally different from everybody else?
Anytime you play a spread team, if you're comparing them, Altus was a good barometer to prior.
I wondered about that.
In terms of the way that they do things.
And the passing quarterback?
Quarterback, you have a left-handed quarterback this week versus what we played against Friday night. But, you have to, Pryor's really good. We played them. They have some really good concepts. So for me, those are the type of things that get me excited, and we try to game plan. Coach Bradshaw, myself, and the defensive coaches, we try to game plan for stuff like that.
For our fans, they are a great-looking team. We get to watch each other on on film these days, on video.
Sure.
So much coverage, and their quarterback, I believe, is Braden Ward. He's left-handed,
yes, sir.
And it appears he has 7 or 8 receivers at any time ready to catch passes in a game, because he's going to spread it out, right?
Yeah, he spreads the ball around to everybody, including the running back. He's very good. Like this week, we know he likes to stretch the field. We have to be prepared for that. Last week, they didn't want to stretch the field so much. It was a lot of quick game, but this kid, he can really stretch the field. So we respect him.
And we don't usually mention special teams players so much, but I was watching one of the coverages, and they've got a pretty good kicker. We've got a good kicker. They've got a good kicker named Spencer, said to be an exceptional athlete. So if you're watching the game, you might keep an eye out for that name. It sounds like he plays several positions and has a pretty good kicking game. Well, any other messages you have in terms of getting ready for the game? Any message for the fans? I know it's going to say get in your car and drive up there.
Oh, yeah, it's a 2-hour drive. So for us, we would love to see as many Newcastle Racer fans there with us supporting these kids. It's not – there's a lot of teams that are at home. There's 8 teams remaining in 5A.
Yeah.
We're one of the 8. We're hoping to make sure that we're one of the 4 after the smoke is settled. So we need as much support and as much if they can't make it, at least watch it on OSN.
Exactly, but make it there. We watch OSN Saturday morning, right? You and I, we'll send messages back and forth.
Yes,
what
sir.
a game. So will TJ's mom be going to that game?
Absolutely. She will definitely be there. My wife will definitely be there.
I know. Oh, there. I just now found out where she's over to my right. Yeah, the Bradford family, big time support, and it's fun to watch your son play and to have your family here at Newcastle. And he's put together some great stats. I'm going to be bragging about him in the next segment coming up here.
Don't brag too much. We don't want his head to get big.
Too late. And if I get any of these numbers wrong, you may have to kind of holler back and correct me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
So glad to have Coach Bradford with us. And when we get back, we're going to have that MVP joining us on set. And then right after that, we're going to have the Scout Player of the Week, Mr. Landon Judkins. You're watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home, so you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month, or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
And we are back. You're watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're here at Luigi's in the Tri-City area of Newcastle. We're very glad to have you joining us tonight. We plan to be here next Tuesday night as well. We just hope that this continues on. Our next guest is a fan favorite and Coaches Show fave. Mr. Taylor T.J. Bradford is with us. Now, before we welcome T.J. officially to the set, let's look at some of the stats this young man has amassed. And full disclosure, anything I have is unofficial because I may add a few yards every time again just because I like the guy.
He's not going to argue with it.
But these are unofficial stats, but I'll just kind of run by the. By the way, T.J., thanks for helping me to break the huddle last week.
Yes, sir, every time.
I joined the group for a quick group picture, and Coach said, let's have Gene break the huddle. And I stood there like a bump on a log, and TJ said, Gene, here's what you do. So I broke the huddle. That was fun, and what an honor to have you and Ashton Schumard and Jace Ledoux and Garrett Pratt, the four captains right nearby, and all these seniors who are playing their last home game on our field. We were so glad to have you. First, the big game from last week. Let's see. This young man had 19 carries, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10 tackles. Impressive. And speaking of impressive, this young man has had quite a season already as we continue on. He's knocking on the door of 1,400 yards for this season. and he's knocking on the door of 5,000 yards for his high school career at Newcastle.
Wow.
In both rushing and receiving yards this season, he's averaging 120 yards per game in rushing and receiving. And he plays defense. He plays defense full-time. He's recorded 77 tackles for the year, second only to our outstanding linebacker, Mr. Preston Scagnetti. So we've got a lot of tackles under. And P.S., if he achieves 1,400 yards this season, it will be his third in a row because he already has 2 1,400. What'd you do, just stop at 1,400? You thought that was a good number?
No, I only aim to go higher.
You aim for higher. Well, I don't know how official all these are, but that's what I gather from the notes that I have pulled up. And so already 2 1,400-yard season. His freshman year, he had knocking on around 500 as a freshman. And so now, welcome, TJ. What did I leave out? I knew you've had some interceptions. How many interceptions have you had this year? A couple?
I think I only have one.
One?
Year. Only one this year.
That's okay. And how about kick returns? A couple of kick returns. Not many. You weren't out there so much on kickoffs, right?
Not so much. I only have one return.
Okay, very good.
Kicked to me one time.
Well, congrats on another big outing Friday night versus Altus.
Yeah.
And
well,
ask this young man a question.
Well, we were expecting a lot out of that QB from Altus. Were you pleased with our ability to limit his success?
Yeah, that quarterback from Altus, so
he was very successful, the quarterback. Were you pleased with how we limited his success?
Yeah, I thought we had done a really good job on defense, especially bottling them up to only 14 points and 0 points in the second half.
Yeah.
So I thought our defense executed. You know, we try to confuse the quarterback a lot by giving different disguises for our defense, and that caused him to throw 3 interceptions against us. So yeah, I'd say we play pretty effective against Celtics.
And I think he had very few interceptions for the year, right?
Yeah. Yes,
maybe just a couple for the year. Three for the year, and then 3 for our game.
Yeah, I don't think he'd had one going into the game. I don't believe so.
Yeah. He had 3 for the year prior to our game, and then 3 on our. Yeah,
okay.
That's pretty. That's pretty good response. Oh man, congratulations on that. What else? You made a few comments. You've made some of the comments you made over the last few. We have you regularly now, so we get to hear you a lot. We get to hear your thoughts and everything. You talk about the intensity of practice, and a couple of times you said, "Yeah, we could be a little bit more intense in practice." So, how's practice this week? Has it lived up to your expectation? And
actually, today we had a meeting, in the middle of practice about how we need to continue to increase our intensity because of the privilege we have of playing in the playoffs still. We're remaining 8 teams, and, practicing without any intensity is just unacceptable right now. So we have fixed it, and, it's definitely fixed it. And it should not be an issue anymore.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the case when I asked the question. But that's how teams will operate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes you have it right, and sometimes you don't. And when you don't, you stop and say timeout. We got to get this thing going. So did the intensity improve then right after that, or
yes, sir.
Second?
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Good. And it's not the first time. Probably not the last time it's going to happen at Newcastle where you need that. But the intensity, and I did hear the coach last week. I sneak in and watch practice every once in a while.
Really?
Yeah, they don't know I'm there, but I watch it, and I heard him say, "Playoff game requires playoff practice," and he was trying at that time to be sure the guys, this is not the time to relax, right? Yeah. Good.
TJ, I've been impressed this year with you and the quarterback and the fluid of the backfield and just the transition of the handoffs and just the run game. Tell me a little bit about that.
So we actually practice a lot on mesh with our run game, and we give teams a lot of trouble with it, especially rotating in those backs, especially with Ben Rogers being in the backfield with me. Really helping our team out, and helping me out too. Because you can't do it all by yourself.
Right.
It takes a team effort to go further in the playoffs and further in the playoffs. So having that run game like that is very, very effective, and it really gives defenses a hard time to get on their feet because you stop one back, okay, the next one's coming in, so the other one's not tired, and then you keep rotating them in like that. And I thought Coach E had done a really, really good job of subbing us in and out, and I thought that's one of the main reasons why we had executed so well against Altus on Friday. So I will say, with running and, our running and our progression, throughout the season, because, we were trying to find our way, and I'm glad that we had found our way with our running game this late on in the season.
TJ, anytime we talk about one or two players here on this set or read the stats, we remind ourselves or remind our fans there were like 10 other players on the team when that play was made.
Sure.
And throughout the game, it's a team effort. So we do know that. And so one of the guys that we talk about a little bit and been bragging about, quarterback Creswell, Blake has done a really good job of ball handling. So the number of times that he has handed the ball off and operated that offense, I think that's what Keith was alluding to too. Everything's running really smoothly. Hope I don't jinx us, but it could happen. But good ball handling, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Who coaches that part of it?
Coach E and Coach Ketch really coach that part of it, especially with Blake being a transferring quarterback and this being a brand new team on his senior year. So, it's very impressive.
Well, let's see. Oh, speaking of other players, Ashton Schumart, I saw him a little while ago. That catch he made in the end zone. How about that touchdown catch he made?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Did he take a hit as soon as he caught the ball?
Yeah, but it's he's a really tough dude. One of the toughest guys on our team. So I knew he'd be all right.
He got hit so bad. So whoever I was standing by next to him said, that should be a flag. I said, no, that guy gets the right to try to knock that ball out. But he held it, and it was a hard hit, and it was a touchdown, therefore. And I asked him about it tonight, and he said it drove my mouthpiece so high up it got caught under my chin strap or down or up or something like that. But he felt it. I said, how'd you hold on to the ball? And he said, if I don't get the ball that many times, I wasn't going to let it go. So that's a good approach. TJ, any last comments, final comments you have before we bring up this star scout player? Do you have any comments on the scout player that we're bringing up?
LJ, he's a very hard worker in practice. I will say that. Yeah, from time to time. But the additional words I have for the season is that I feel like we're kind of underlooked. We've always been underlooked, and I think that's like our our kind of our superpower with Newcastle.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't think it happened 2 years in a row. Last year we understood it.
Right.
We surprised some people, but many of those same teams, knew not to overlook us, and we did a great job. So
yes, sir.
That was good.
Our team is prepared for anything. I will say that. A very hard-nosed team. That's all I got for this season.
Let's hear it for Mr. TJ Taylor, TJ Bradford. Taylor, thank you very much. Good to have you on. We're going to take another break for this final guest. You're watching The Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll be right back. And we are back for the final segment and with our final guest. We're very glad you're here. Very glad to have this young man. By the way, just want to say one more time a shout out to Luigi's for the great support they give to Newcastle in general, to Racer Athletics, and to hosting our coaches show. So our final guest, very glad to have this young man. He's a sophomore, Landon Judkins. We've mentioned this guy a few times in the show. Among other things, we recognize him for having received recognition from the coaching staff for most knockdowns.
Yeah.
And we're glad to have that. Landon, welcome. And tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at Newcastle and so forth.
I've been at Newcastle my whole life, since pre-K. So it's great. Love it. The atmosphere's great. Everybody's nice. So I have a little sister. She's in 8th grade.
Yep.
So
right.
It's great having her come up. I get to be in high school with her for 2 years, I think.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay, good,
yeah.
good.
You have to drive her around all the time.
And she's smiling right now. She's
Yeah.
proud. She's proud of her brother up there. We get to see her a lot of the game. Have you played other sports? Do you?
Yeah, I do powerlifting, and then I throw shot put in the school.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes,
good,
sir.
good. So you got something going on most of the year.
Yeah, I like to stay busy.
Yeah, very good.
So.
And any other? Let's see. You asked about sports. How long in football? You play football all your life?
Yeah,
so to
since
speak?
first grade.
Since
So,
first grade.
Yeah, I started early.
Very good.
Always loved it.
Landon, we love having the scout team guys here. It's always an honor for you guys to come. Tell us why it's so important for the scout team.
The scout team scout team goes against the varsity every day. That's the look the varsity gets every day the most.
Right.
So if your scout team's not performing, then your varsity's not going to perform.
And you get a lot of ability to learn the plays and get a lot of work in as well, don't you, on the scout team?
You're going every day. There's a lot of plays you're going, and you get to learn a lot of stuff since we're running other teams' defense, so you really learn a lot about playing the sport just in general.
What position do you normally play on the scout team?
I usually play center, and then I play nose guard on defense too.
Well, so those are your roles on the team anyway, right?
Yeah.
And so center and nose guard.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you'd be a fit for that, obviously, for practice and scout team, then, huh?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yeah.
Is playing center very difficult?
It's definitely hard. I've only been playing it a few years, but I feel like I really came along, especially in my snapping. So it's been good.
So when I was in school, and I wasn't competitive as a player, but I played center, and back then we played single wing. So every snap was similar to your way back.
Way back.
The football was still the same shape and everything, but snapping it back like that way, but it was like a backward pass, and I could watch. But you guys don't even look back. I mean, you take one look and then you snap, right? So
yeah, I don't really look back there. I kind of know where they're at, but it's definitely tough sometimes if you got a dude right in your face. So
you're a sophomore. So how old?
I turned 16 a month ago.
It
so,
is
yes,
16.
Sir.
And what are your dimensions, height and weight?
I'm 5'8", and I weigh 260 pounds.
Wow, good. I see when I look at him, it looks like a walking uniform full of muscle. He looks like he just built. That's a powerlifting, probably, right?
Yes,
Keep
sir.
those muscles wired up. And
He looks very stout.
listen, and so when you're on the scout team, you're going to get up against some really challenging superstars, you might say. I mean, you're either one or you're going to be a superstar, but these guys are our starters. Is there anyone on the varsity team you can't block or tackle?
I wouldn't say there's anyone that I really can't block, but there's definitely dudes that are tough. Blake Allen's a tough one. I mean, he's big, so.
Oh, you have to go against him? I guess you would, wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's a big one. He's tough to move, so.
Is the varsity what you expected when you began this season?
I think it is. I mean, obviously we didn't start out the season exactly how we wanted to, but last year we came along and we got better as we went, and I kind of thought that's how we'd go this year. So I really think we've gotten better progressively every week. So
good, very good. Well, what do you think might be keys to the game? What do you think it's going to take for this team to do well?
Definitely good preparation. Last week we had a great week of practice. The energy was up, the intensity was up. So I think if we can do that again this week and have great energy and intensity and have great effort, I think we definitely can pull it out. It's going to be a tough game, we know, but we definitely think we can win.
You know, our scout guest last week, we asked him the same question, and it was Hanner. and Jackson Hanner said, they're a fast-moving team. We got to find a way to slow things down because they're a hurry-up offense. And man, what great thought that was, because that's exactly what the Racer team had to do, and it worked very effectively. So have a good practice, be intense, and be ready to face the Tigers of Pryor.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Well, we'll wrap it up. There's our Scout Player of the Week. That means during this all week long that he was recognized for his outstanding performance, and we congratulate you for that. Just one more time, say thanks to all the quarterback club members who have worked together to keep this team, in shape and fed and taken to where they need, the transportation they need, along with what the school does as well. So with that, any final comments, Keith, as we're wrapping it up?
I think Landon had a good analogy of what we need. We need the intensity we had last week, but we need a lot of fans there. Brickman said that we need travel. We need people to show up because it's going to be a loud environment. They're a good team, but we are an exceptionally good team as well.
And if all goes well, we will be right back here at 6:30 next Tuesday night on the Oklahoma Oklahoma Sports Channel.
Sports Network.
Yeah, sorry about that. You think I'd have that down by the number of times I said it. But we're the Oklahoma Sports Network, and our one more word of thanks to Luigi's. Yes. And we'll be signing off now. Good night, everyone. We'll be watching Friday night, either at the game or Saturday morning, or during Friday night on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Good night, everybody. Glad to have everybody here. Good night.